Here in the workshop, so to speak, the outside workshop. We've gotten to the point where we have pretty much used everything that we tore up. The last Hot Wheels that we tore up for Gaslands. So we need to do another batch, and I think I have 5 or 6 or something like that. And I might talk about what they're going to be, and we need to take them apart, and so we can modify them, prime them, and give them a flat coat. Not really prime them. Prime them in a way of giving them a flat coat, because we're going to use whatever kind of details they already have on them. But the part I dislike the most is taking them apart. I really don't like doing it at all. It's a chore. It's a chore, really. And if you watch people do it, they're like, man, it seems like they just take it apart as a breeze. And I've got the right. I don't have cheap drill bits. It doesn't work for me. So I'm going to cut the plastic, because that's a lot better than trying to cut the metal. And a lot quicker, a lot less horsepower, and a lot safer too. So that's what we're going to do. We'd like to keep all of our fenders. We need them all. All right, and so let's do the lineup of what we're going to do here. First things first, and I think I'm going to get a little. I need something soft to lay this on. Even something like this would work. This is, I think, what we've been using in the past. All right, we've got the 240 Z. There's going to be flowering Fubuki. We're going to leave this paint scheme on it. I think we're going to try to take this, whatever the heck this is, off the roof. There you go. I'm going to get that light on this side of it so you guys aren't fighting it. Let's see if I can move this a little bit better. Yeah, there's like some kind of an icon here. It doesn't really work. But we've got some flowers there. Got some flowers there. The blue, this little blue on the rims, that's going to go away. That looks ridiculous. I don't care what persuasion the driver is. I don't know about the light blue windshield color. I don't think it really is going to work. It's going in too many different directions. So this may be a car that we take the windshield out and we actually add some netting or something to it. Maybe some other kind of safety device. It doesn't need to have that kind of on there. Okay, so this is one of them that we're going to take apart. The other one we're going to take apart is one of these Pride of the South. I finally found out what the heck the name of the thing is when you have the front of your vehicle higher than the back. They call it a Carolina Squat. So this squatter, whatever this ends up being, and also with a chrome interior. So you got to take that apart. You can't have that chrome interior, and that's ridiculous. I don't care how rich you are, you don't want a chrome interior. I mean, I don't. Nothing good can come from that. But this is almost like in a primer gray. I think this will paint up pretty well. It's got jury rig written on it. So this is some kind of redneck vehicle. That's what it's going to be, and that's what it's going to be in this household. And I think there's been various variations of this been around for a while. This is not a new model. The 240 was really difficult to find. And if you guys are interested, I'll show you what I did find at the store, since it's still in the trunk. If you're interested in that, I found some. I went to the store and I hit it right at the time that they had a new batch. So I got some harder to find cars in there. Doesn't matter. We're not saving them or anything. We're going to take them apart. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that before I get started. Okay? So that's going to be one of the ones that's coming up. The bus. Oh, this thing. This one is, this is a real cheapy Walmart brand and it's actually at Masto. It's carried at Walmart. And this is a cool little vehicle. I don't know what it's supposed to be, like a 68 Camaro or something like that. Of course, it's tuned up a little bit. We've got some either flame-throwing stuff back there or nitrous oxide. I haven't decided which one it's going to be. We might just do it maybe some flame tanks on it would be different. I think this will paint up really, really well. This is a very cool looking vehicle. And that's the thing, is this is probably the most generic one of them all, of the brands, and they cost basically the same thing. You don't save any money buying an off-brand vehicle. But that should paint up pretty well. We have, if my skills of paint matching are going to be put to the test with this vehicle that I got several years ago, and just absolutely gorgeous color. It is a metallic green that just shines, and it's beautiful. So this is an Urban Brotherhood vehicle, judging by the rims on it. So we've got big old rims. It's going to be the Urban Brotherhood. Along with this one that has, it's of course backwards. The Nerdburglar van, not that one. That's not the Nerdburglar van. This is too nice for the Nerdburglar van. Nerdburglar van looks like shit. It's got all kinds of like... What was that stupid communist painter? Kadinsky? You know, he's like, I think I will make square that's red and one that's yellow and one blue, and we carved that art. It's called fucking geometry, man. Why am I here? I don't know. Ask your mom. I have no idea, man. But thanks for coming by. So this actually, I know everything's backwards on it. It says Bully Goat. So this is going to be one of the Urban Cowboys as well. This thing's going to have a big old ram on it. And this thing is going to be something that's going to want to hit people and run them off the road. I've already designed it. So, and yes, it's going to be purple. But no, these blue parts won't stay blue. You know, it's like the main color of it, I'm fine working with it. Because, you know, it's actually some nice graphics. It's backwards. It says Bully Goat on it. And it has a big N on the roof. We're going to take the N off. I don't see where I can work N into any of that. And, you know, it says Bully Goat. And that's actually what it's called on the bottom of it. So, all right. Then, I think I'm going to have too much fun with this thing. This is a Cadillac Escalade, and this is going to be the Methcalade. The Methcalade. And it has a gold interior. That's not going to work. It seems like Gaslands and die-cast cars. Oh. There's Gaslands car. Oh, you removed it. Okay, well, I don't know what it was. This has a gold interior. That's not going to work. Okay, that's just ridiculous. I mean, maybe this gold here will keep. Maybe the gold down here, but, you know, seems like Gasland guy can have more people than usual interested. One time you said you had 30 plus people watch. It's because it's on my phone. And the problem with the phone is that, and I appreciate you guys subbing on the phone, because you can see it, you know, when you can go, you had to fix some spelling. Yeah, I'm a bit of a spelling prude. That as well. The problem is when you're on the phone, you get access to everybody who's on Facebook and all that kind of stuff all the time. It gets suggested, but my video's backwards. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, like every single thing is backwards on it. Okay, I can't flip it over. So can you ask a question? You already did. So we're going to remove all this gold stuff on here, and then of course this is, I don't know what I'm going to do. One of these vehicles has got to be Tree-Fitty, and it's not going to be this one because this is going to be the Methcalade. Okay, I may make the van Tree-Fitty. I may just make the van Tree-Fitty. So this is like a squashed Escalade. So, and this all has like freaking rapper graphics and stuff on here, so it's like perfect. Yeah, now that I've got the boom bus, I'm like, whoa, now we need some boom folks to go with it, because it benefits. You know, they benefit each other. You know, so all right. So these are some of the ones we're going to take apart. We're going to take them apart the easy way. You'll watch videos of people taking these apart and it's like, oh, that's a piece of cake. It isn't. It's a pain in the freaking ass. Okay? And I'm using the right drill bits. These things are expensive. Still not good enough. All right, so first thing we're going to do is let's take apart the cheapo one. So we're going to do, instead of drilling through the prong, okay, we're going to go around it in the plastic. So we're going to do the 4 cardinal directions. So we're going to put one in this direction, and then we're going to put one in, and hopefully we don't go through, another one in this direction. And another one in this direction, and that's just to make the cutting easier. And then one in this direction. All right, and now well, I wasn't counting on this blowing away. All right, we'll use something else. Be difficult. It's this fan that's on me. Let's not use that. We want to keep that in good shape. What do I not give a shit about? Everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. How about something is not blowing. That's the problem. Is it's blowing. All right. Look. How about I close it? How about we do that? How about we close it? There we go. All right. This one actually does not have a lot of clearance in between that piece and the end. So this might be the hardest one to do of all of them. But drilling through that center prong, it just takes forever. And it's dangerous. And you get metal filings everywhere. And you put in a lot of pressure that you're worrying, oh man, is this thing going to break and I'm going to take off a finger or something? Okay. This should be loosened enough to... I got a bad piece of these that can... No, still not. Okay, well, we'll go to the other one. Yeah, see, there's not a lot of clearance in between where that little prong is and that. Normally, that's normally in a very flat part, and you got all the space in the world. You don't have it here. This is definitely my least favorite part of the whole thing. My favorite part is actually being able to use the graphics that they put on there. I mean, some of them have... You know, it makes your decision easy. I don't know what color to paint it. Well, what color did it come in? Pink. Make it pink. You know? May actually not work because of how let's just put one in between them. Let's just try that. Except it slips into one of the other holes. That's why I don't like editing videos. It's a lot of work for me, and then you guys get the wrong idea that, man, it's real easy. Why am I running into all kinds of issues when I try at home? Now. I need to use one that's a little shorter because this one's so long that I'm putting lateral pressure on it. I'm going to snap this thing, and I really would rather not do that. So let me see if I can find a drill bit that's maybe a little shorter. It's kind of overkill for what I'm doing here. It's like I said, this is like anything you come out here into the shop, don't make any plans. Like, man, I should have been done with this a few minutes ago. Why is this taking all day? Well, that's just how things are. That's just how things are. Let's try this bastard. Let's try this bastard. You can't break this thing. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not strong enough to break it. It falls all the way to the bottom. Well, it's not long enough, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and tighten this back up. Make sure we don't push this thing. We don't have to add a lot of pressure to it. We're just going through plastic. All right, let's see if we do better with this. This is the part that I find the most frustrating. Because even if you're painting, you're taking a long time painting something, you're constantly moving towards a common goal. Here, you could be wasting your fucking time, you know. It's just how it is. This one, we're probably going to repaint it. I don't know about this purple ass color. I don't know. Let me try to work with it. Of course, I did the most difficult one first, looks like. All right, that should do it. Should and does are two different things. And the other thing of going through the middle is you have to change drill bits, and that just takes forever. Come on, give me some releasal. Made in China, you'd think it'd just fall apart on its own. It's the only brand of these that are made in China, by the way. The Maestos. All right, let's. It does not want to. You ever break one of these open as a kid by accident? There we go. I should ask that question more sooner. All right. I don't want to go farther towards the front because I'm going to fuck up the front of the car. I really don't want to do that. It has a cool front. All right, I'm going to pull on this thing even if we break something, because it'll just be underneath broken. Okay, here's the wheels. Come on. I don't want to fuck up the front of this car. There we go. All this stuff is connected. These things also disassemble so different. Than anything else. Good Lord, man. Does this even fit through there to disable it? It may not. The Chinese finger puzzle. All right, well, well, this is a part that you can remove from it. Maybe. Okay, well, I don't have to remove that. It just basically means it's going to get stuck on there. All right, well. Weird. Mastos they tear apart very strangely. All right, let's put this thing in its own compartment here. All right, that's one. Because we're definitely going to need to seal them. Flat coat them. So the paint will be able to stick to them. Okay, well that took forever. Let's see if the next one can be quicker. And like, I don't mind when I do like the black lining on stuff. That takes a long time, but that's satisfying. This was unsatisfying. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around that little bit of plastic. So instead of going through the metal, we're going to go around the plastic and pop it out. See if this goes a little bit better. What bit is on here? The buffer. Oh, speaking of which, let's see if this... Yep. Taking that T right off. That's actually working really well. Okay, it's off. And if I wasn't going to weather it, it'd probably be a problem because it left a little bit of a irregular finish. Very, very little. But once you give that a black wash, that'll be good to go. I'm going to say I have a little bit better control with this thing, but let's leave that buffer on there because we may take this N off the top. I really don't like the idea of having a vehicle that's driven by one of the brothers with an N on the top of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just not, and I can't work that into the name or anything. Don't need to go there. All right. Don't need to explain that to anybody either. I still haven't found a drill bit that I like to do this with. The regular drill bit works fine, but I ended up putting lateral pressure on it. It could break it. I broke one. I didn't break an expensive one, but still, it kind of catches you off guard when you break it and you're like, whoa, shit, you know? Of course, the problem with drilling into the plastic is you're basically melting it. So you've got to clear this thing out from time to time. All right. Looks like it's going all right. What are you getting caught up on? The other one? Okay. Got too many power tools here? I guess you guys don't want to see what I picked up yesterday. Or you just missed it. Oh yeah, I want to see it. What is it? You gotta let me know. Otherwise it interrupts myself. It's over there in the trunk. I haven't even brought them inside. It's nothing super exciting. It's just stuff that's harder to find. You know, every time you go to the store, you just gotta go check the toy aisle. See if there's something new there. Yeah, I did. I didn't plan on it. You want to see them? God, tell me you want to see them. It's your show too, damn it. Of course it's your show. You wouldn't be on it. I really dislike doing this part. Of all the stuff, I really dislike doing this part. It just seems like I'm not going nowhere all the time. And you watch these videos, oh yeah, how to take them apart. Oh yeah, it's so easy. Once I get done drilling, you got all week? It's taking forever, man. I gotta find something else. I gotta find something else. I gotta find something different. This one's not working as a. Let's try this. God, I'm gonna regret this. Yeah, see, it's not even going into the metal. Like fuck that. And this is a metal bit. This is a metal drilling bit. Like the die cast is so damn hard. Those die-cast tanks that I have, I mean, I made no attempt to try to drill a hole in them and to put an antenna in them. It's like, just forget it. It's like harder than a real tank. No fair, sir. Our enemy's using die-cast tanks, and we got to use real tanks. We'll never defeat them. Let's try this one. If I break this thing, I break this thing. All right, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I'm also not a fan of when something works really well one time, you try it a different time, and it doesn't work again. It's like, what the hell, man? I'm doing the same thing every time. That'll happen to me with the Xbox. I'll fire up the TV, fire up the Xbox turns off. Why? And sometimes it doesn't. Hot Wheels doesn't make a tool to remove the bottom of their cars. Nope. Why would they do that? You're destroying their product. No, but you know, you can find links what size to use. These are the two sizes you're supposed to get, and these are super cutting through metal things, it takes even longer than this. Yeah, I don't like that this is going all the way through it. Okay. And you got metal filings everywhere. When you got the metal filings, you don't want to get them underneath the car or they'll end up scratching the surface. It's a pain in the ass. It's really unsatisfactory. And you'll watch a video of the guy online, he's even doing it in the palm of his hand, like, no, I want to keep all my fingers. Here, I don't like you, hold this for me. Go through your hand. All right, we're almost through this one. Mein Gott. You saw that guy do it. Yeah, it makes it seem like it's a breeze. False advertising. It's this last little bit of plastic right here. And basically using the edge of the drill to go through the hole and carve its way around. It's only going through plastic. I mean, it's not like it's that difficult. Come on, release already. This is a really bad set of a really bad set of tweezers. It is now. Always was. You know, and like my hand is tired. Like, you know, I could spend 11 hours painting straight. Yeah, I hate doing this. At least I'm doing it in a way I'm not going to hurt myself. Drilling out the other stuff, yeah, see, we almost got this released. I just don't want to fuck up this car. There we go. Opening up this little Japanese clam here. All right, now the back. Soldering iron to heat up the... I don't own one. I don't own a soldering iron. I don't really have a use for one. Woo! Went right through that one. All right. How about one right here? Okay. How about one right here? Okay. How about one right here? Come on. Vamos, cabrón. I put one through and it went all the way through the window. Yeah, do this in your hand. No thanks. See? Yeah. I fucking hate this. I hate doing this shit. And yes, I tried the way to... It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. That's why we used one I was willing to break. Actually, I did one the other day, and it actually broke inside of it. The end broke inside the thing, and I had to get it out. All right, well, let's strong arm it with a stronger one. At least I'm doing this in a way I'm not likely to get myself hurt. Everything else is pretty much immaterial. Let's no, not yet. I got 4 holes in here. All I got to do is connect them now. that's going to wants to walk and go in one of the holes already there. There. I'm just going to pry it up like that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not worried about having a little hole in it. It's not likely to, this is going to be transparent anyways. Okay, so here's the hole of the, God, that light is so overpowering. So much kickback on it. All right. Get that one all together. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to show you the cars that are back there. Pop up the Subi. I think there's like 6 or 7. I don't think it's more than that. Let's see. I had no intention to get any of these. One, two, three, four, five. That way. All right, these are all hard to get. One of these isn't that hard to get. And it costs the same as all the other ones. A Pagani Utopia. Pagani Utopia. This one is not hard to find. Not that hard to find. I've seen it before. Mercedes-Benz 500 series. I don't think I'd ever seen this one before. Cruise Bruiser, and it's basically the same as this jerry-rig Joker, but it's the same style. You know, it's not the same vehicle, but it's the same style. It's, you know, jacked up in the front. Got that Carolina squat. Reverse rake. That's a good name for it. Yep. These two are really hard to find. A Porsche 911 Cabriolet. I've never seen this before in the stores. And this one's really hard to find. And they actually had 2 of them. And no, I don't go and sell them and try to sell one for $10. It's not worth it my time going to the post office. It's a Skyline GTR. They actually had 2 of them. So, I don't know if I'm going to keep these graphics. They're kind of all over the place. Like, I don't know what they say. HKS, I guess they're an engine sponsor. I probably will. Anyways, so I saw those. I'm like, oh, I've never seen those before in a store. You know, $1 a piece. Okay, back to hell. God, I hate doing this. God, I hate doing this. All right, let's see if I can, if this goes any better. Let's do this. Let's do one thing. Let's switch something out. Let's switch to the hand one, because this one I'm putting a lot of downward pressure on this, specifically because it's this type of a drill. So let's just ditch this drill, which is easier to change the bits in and out of than this fucker. This thing is a pain in the ass. This thing's awesome, but it's a pain in the ass because you can't tighten any of it by hand. And as soon as you pull this thing out, and we'll keep this handy, and you want to open this, actually, it might not even fit in here. That might be the problem. It doesn't even fit in this one. And that's exactly what it is. All right, well, we'll just use a different one. Okay, you can't just like finger tighten this up to where it needs to be and then crank down it. No, you got to go low and slow. You like that Benz? I was talking about yesterday that, you know, a lot of the Benz and BMWs in particular, if you want to buy a used one, not that I'm interested in buying one, the German cars put turn signal indicators and things in the wrong place. I am sold on the Japanese way of doing things. So, you know, the German cars are back assholes. You want to turn your lights on and it's in the opposite direction that I'm used to. But anyhow, you can get a pretty good deal on them because I think a lot of people that buy these cars, they don't realize how much it costs to maintain them, and they don't maintain them, and therefore, you know, you don't maintain the car, it's going to just go to shit no matter where it's made. All right, this might be a little too big. Now we've got some more finger control. This should go, well, it can't go any worse. Except I do need better light here. Much better. And we're through. See, I won't make that mistake again. Well, we went all the way the fuck around. The problem is that it heated it back up and it might have melted it back together. But we went all the way around. That's all we did. Just do a little donut around that thing. I may need to get my other readers, the super readers, on to be able to see what's going on here. Let's get rid of this stuff right here. Okay, so we just went around that. You have a team of rich, snooty tycoons or oil barons yet? Nope. Nope, but there's still time. There's still time for every undesirable to get in on the action. The problem I'm having is sourcing figures. There's actually a fair amount of 1/64 figures out there. They're just not affordable. You know, I don't want them painted. I also don't want to pay like $10 for one guy. Like, but they make some really cool figures. Now this should have loosened this up. We got it, okay? That's what he should have done, because then they got that finger control on that. Okay, and this thing comes apart with this ridiculous interior color of chrome. Now, why aren't you loosening up here? We have an exact line here, don't we? Yeah, we do. Okay. You have those rich, snooty oil barons where you're from? That's the thing I don't understand about oil. If all the oil comes from Texas, why are we buying it from other places? You know, like it costs too much to get it out of the ground. I said, well, tough. You know, by the time we start using our reserve, you know, we find out that, you know, nobody uses petroleum to run vehicles on. Then they run on camel butter. What part of the world has all the camel butter? Same part of the fucking world. But I saw some 1/64th people on Outland models when I was looking for 1/25th scale. You may have. Okay. Something snapped and hopefully it was okay. Well, this is all encrusted, which doesn't really matter because we just squeeze some of that hot glue gun in there and it solves all those problems for us. This thing is a multi-part reverse Jenga thing to take apart. I don't understand what it's catching on. Unless it happens to be catching also on this, you evil prom. All right. Well, we have some metal filings because we're drilling close to that thing, and some of it's coming off. So I guess we need to take some of this off as well. All right, that should do it now. I need to hire a little 8-year-old kid. Hey, take this fucker apart for me. Okay. Yes, sir. All of this is going to be painted black. Okay. That's a fair amount of detail in there. Okay. All right, we'll put that in. I'm not real big on switching out the tires. They don't need it. All right, now we got the Urban Cowboys. All right. Brothers from another father. I'm interested to see how these guys work because they've got the bus to help them out. So if you use the bus basically affects everybody within, is it medium distance? Something like that. The weapon on the bus is basically the power of boom. And anybody that gets hit can either have a hazard taken away from them or a hazard added to them. So obviously if it's in the middle of a pack of these guys, it's going to be there, getting the groove on with them and taking hazards off of them. If somebody else mixes it in, and you can choose by car. It's not like they all have to go one way or all have to go the other, Gotten back on Pinterest. They really have some good pics on some of my niche hobbies. Yeah, Pinterest really can really give you a lot of food for thought. I don't use it enough, and every time I get on it, I have to kind of relearn how to use it. What I mean by relearn how to use it, it's like which button does what. I want to create a new one. Oh, that's not it. It's not super user friendly. It's kind of like Instagram. I don't like Instagram. It's not user friendly. You don't use it all the time. All right, let's see. I think we got through this. Okay. Oh, green. Okay. And same thing here. Okay, now we conclude. This is how you take them apart the easy way. Not how I was doing it before. Because I'm not pushing all the way in. It doesn't need to go all the way in. We've done all the way around. And there, it falls apart just like it should. What color is the interior of this mobile? Now I'm going to leave this purple the way it is. But this stuff that's blue, well, we can't have that blue. It's going in too many directions at once. So you got a car full of kids. Hey, where do you want to go? And every kid's saying something different. Hey, shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up! Okay, this gets twisted in there, okay? Not a whole lot of room in there. Oh, we got some boom in the back. I don't know about these yellow. I don't think that's really compatible, but we'll see. Of course, now I want to remove this end. I'll do that when I come back and switch this thing out. Let's just keep taking these things apart. I'm going to leave this up here knowing that I'm going to want to remove that. Okay. And they're not going to be silver wheels. They're going to be damn near almost all rims. I mean, this is like a Mondo rims there. I wanted to replace the wheels on my car, and I realized how much it cost. I'm like, nah, that's just stupid. That's stupid to spend $3,000 on that. You know, by the time you add, 4 wheels, $800 and something a wheel. I mean, it'll look better than the factory. We the ones that the car should have come with, but no. Okay, the Methscalade. The Methscalade. Now, it's not that user-friendly, but I get going down the rabbit hole pretty... Yeah, once you get in the habit, but it's just, it's like I said, if you don't use it all the time, you forget, okay, does this create... Oh, no, that doesn't. And then you leave that, oh, crap, where was I? And then it'll suggest things you're not really interested in, but they're attractive. So you start clicking on those things. I go looking for pens or 3 pictures, and the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, she's cute. You got any friends? They're not rude pictures or anything. Did that do it? Nope. Ooh, this body is... No, it's not. It's not a plastic body. Be careful. This one was hard to find. I had to go to a specialty shop for this one. It's not a 2025 model. Okay. Oh, and the back removed because the back doesn't connect all the way through. That's weird. Okay. Wow. What in King Tut's hellhole is going on here? And it's still connected, which is fine. I'll go ahead and just paint it connected. That's not a problem. I like this burgundy color. Seems appropriate. I don't know if I'm digging the flames. It's not going to be a flame-throwing vehicle. It's not even going to have a flame-throwing weapon. I've already built it. It's got Hot Wheels on the back of the window. We might remove that. I'm not sure. Well, we are going to remove it. How we're going to remove it, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there, and this goes in the box. So we're going to leave that as is. All right, what do we got left? We got the DJ Magic big old, it's like the squat Escalade. I was just clicking on the attractive things. How'd you know? Because they suggest them to you anyways, All right. Ooey gooey. Ooey gooey fangooey. All right, and same thing with the other one here. On the front, we're almost done. Yay! If you give up, you don't succeed. But you were banging your head up against the wall. Yeah, but I found the wall that was softer. And this has no interior. How odd. Is this even a Hot Wheels? It is. But it's made in China. Nope, Thailand. 2007. Interesting. I wonder why it doesn't have an interior. I guess because it'd probably have a tuned interior too. They didn't want to fool with that. They want to fool with that. All right, this one is fine as is. I'm fine with the graphics it has on it. Put it all together. All right, this beautiful green bus. Oh, this thing's an asshole. This thing is terrible. This thing has one up here, and then two are so deep. That is just devious. Well, I may just not take this one apart. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to take it apart. Okay, we're not going to screw up the finish on it. All right, so let's switch this back on and put the buffer on there. See if we can buff that big ant off the top of it, which doesn't have anything to do with bully goat. Why am I calling him bully goat? That's what it's called. That's what the graphics are written on the side of it. Should be about right. Right. Let's see how this goes. What's the worst thing that can happen? Well, let's not go there. Well, it's going really well. Best thing is if you use a regular Dremel, it's too damn fast. You know, I think the minimum speed is like 1,000 revolution per minute, or maybe even 2,000. It's way too fast for this. So, you know, I got a foot pedal. I can go, you know, relatively slow. And it might be making it a different color than that's there, but it's still, you know, purple. It's better than having that big graphic on there. Now there is some like splatter up here on the hood. I'm gonna leave that. Looks like it's got slime or something on there. I'm all right with that. I just don't want a big N. If it had been a B, a G, anything. I mean, there's not even an N in Bully Goat. I have a feeling it's probably like maybe the designer's name or something. Some guy named Nick or something like that designed it. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. And this is just basically, it's like a felt thing. Now, once we get closer, we've got, let's see if this does anything to it. Is that dry erase marker? This will take forever if you have to try to remove the whole thing. I'll guarantee you when we're done with this thing, you won't even tell if it even had a top that was a different thing. I've got a lot of confidence in my color matching at this point. And it's probably the thing I enjoy doing the most. Well, that and coming up with names for the vehicles. That's a lot of fun. There an unwanted Hot Wheels symbol or something like that in one place? Not really. It's a little here. If you remove it, it's not. Well, let's see if we can even remove it. Another version somebody showed using acetone. I'm not using acetone. Acetone, first of all, is super toxic. I don't like using stuff that's like, this smells like it's about to kill me. Don't use that shit. You don't need to, you know? There's other products out there. This is at 1962. Well, that's all you got. Yeah, see, it's not coming off. It's fine. But that cleaned that up quite a bit. Okay. And what we're going to do on this guy, this. I think we just remove this with some sandpaper, or assuming I'm even going to keep the. Assuming I'm going to keep the windshield. Something like that, and you're done. All right. Spray time. I'm going to do the clear first because if I don't want to get black in it and it stop the thing up, and then we have a problem with black getting on the clear. Although I'm overthinking, it's probably not going to be much of a problem. I'm probably going to have a jam at some point in here. Not the end of the world. Let's fire this thing up. I said I wasn't going to do a warning session tomorrow, but I am. I'm not going to take my... I was wrong by 1,000 miles. I'm not taking my car in for a PM just yet. Flowering Fubuki. And all these vehicles already know what they're going to be armed with. So, got to do that ahead of time. Yes, I will be on in the morning. Yep. I plan on it. Unless I feel terrible. And I felt better every day. Now the wife has it. Hey, I didn't know I was sick until it's too late. The Great Unwashed. I was only there an hour and a half, and it might have been just as simple as just going to Orlando. Not even going to the show. But I was kind of an enclosed place. It's the same place my normal convention's at. There was just everybody was, 30 years older than everybody at the other convention. There's old people. And really older acting people. Why can't you be like me and not act your age? I don't act my age. You sit there playing with Matchbox toys. All right, where's the... I need some clippies. Let me go grab the alligator clips. I think they worked their way inside. Be right back. You know, I didn't have a Dremel for the longest time, and now that I had one, the very first thing I thought of was, "Ooh, great! Now I can cut cars apart with one of those, with one of these cut-off wheels." And I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. That is, it's dangerous for starters. I'm being careful. It's freaking dangerous, and it's not very precise. You know, you got to overcut it and then fill it. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." So, you know, I've got that Mini Cooper that I cut in the top of the roof. I still haven't messed with that. I stripped the paint. We're not stripping the paint on it anymore. You know, it's got to be something really wrong with me to strip paint. That's a huge waste of time. I'll be on in the morning. I have some kaiju stuff I've been tinkering out without in the garage. Okay. All right, so what we're going to use here is Viejo Premium Color. We're running it way too high a PSI. I don't care. I want to avoid this jamming as much as I can, because that just slows down the whole process. All right, so let's get a, okay, that's pretty good. And we're going to take this finish and we're just going to spray flat clear over this. That's going to allow the wash to stick to it. And you know, we don't want these vehicles to be all glossy showroom finish kind of thing anyways. Okay. And I think I can do this in a way that we can reuse the alligator clip. There we go. All right, next one. A little bit of a chip there, no big deal. You know, it's going to be all flat looking anyways by the time I weather add some dusting to it and stuff. So we left some of the slime on there, which I don't mind. And the graphics. All right, the Fubuki, I almost called it the Fujimi. No, Fujimi was invincible. We found that out yesterday. Invincible Model Company. Big words, man. You got to live up to that kind of stuff. But 240Z. I thought I was going to get one of the new Zs, the 400s when they came out. Yeah, and then COVID happened. And then a $40,000 car turned into a $62,000 car. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing those kind of payments. Thanks, COVID. Okay. Nissans aren't what they used to be anyways. I gotta remember that. It just looks badass from the outside. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know if I'd like a rear wheel drive car. As soon as it starts raining heavy, which happens a lot in Florida, I'm like, no. I want all-wheel drive. I still don't drive like a maniac, but, you know, it's peace of mind. This primer gray thing, it's already in the right color. Jerry rig. This thing looks like it's going to have a lot of rust on it. Ah, Snapdragon. I think we'll be all right. Okay. What else do we have? This thing. This thing definitely needs to de-shine a little bit. It already looks a lot better. You get that shine off of it. You can see like, oh, so that's what those graphics are. You know, it's like you can't even, all the shine runs interference on your eyes. Okay, this guy here, I don't know if we're going to keep it in the original color, but we'll spray it anyways. This might actually be a good candidate to just do black. And that may be what we end up doing with this thing. Oh, that alligator foot's about to go bye-bye. But I think the main body color of it is okay. It's like this purplish. It helps you decide, like, I'll go ahead and just work with what I have there. Is that everything, or are we missing something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's everything. Am I gonna do the bus? Yeah, let's go ahead and do the bus. I've had this thing forever. We're going to take this beautiful shiny vehicle and turn it not shiny. Well, such is life. Nothing needs to be shiny, though, in this world. I'm going to find a place to attach this. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to spray it like this and we'll kick it around. Okay, shiny vehicle. It was nice knowing you. You're not going to rotate it. You're not going to move on me, are you? You got a piece of stickum or something like that to keep this joker from moving? Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to clip something on it. Chalk the wheel. You go nowhere. All right, here goes. It's still going to be a little metallic. It's just not shiny as hell. Which, you know, is beautiful, but, you know, we're in a freaking war zone. It's now still shiny. It's still metallic, but it looks more like a Christmas ornament than, say, a car. Okay. Still pretty. All right. I believe that's everything that we needed to actually coat with a clear coat at this point. Why are you here? You're back. Why did you come back? I need to clear coat the vehicles I finished, but I'm not going to bring them out yet. Okay, we're going to clear this, move this from this area. That's a high occupancy zone. You're in everybody's way. And let's run the thinner through here, the homemade thinner. Red Dragon, or whatever the name of the guy is that I took this recipe from. That I need to just write it down, because going through his video is like, you found me again, excellent. Well, hope you were looking for me this time. I don't like giving out my email address. It's a pain in the ass. Email addresses are a pain in the ass because they always want you to put all these numbers and shit on them. Like, you know, I don't want an Xbox handle with freaking numbers on it. Like, you know, Sky Captain and then 1734_7. It's like, you know, what do all those numbers mean? Well, they don't mean anything, but I want it to be Sky Captain. There's only 1 million other Sky Captains. That's not my email. I'm just, you know, or my handle, just giving you an example. I don't like doing all that other kind of numbers and shit, but Sometimes they force you to do crap like that. All right, let's see how we get on with the Vallejo primer. We're going to use the Abbas Secret Formula Magic Mix, the 70-30-10, and he recommends thinning about 30% of it. Just basically, this is just to prevent tip dry, which is a pain in the ass. You have to stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing and clear everything. We're going to try to prevent doing that. And hopefully I won't spill this everywhere, because sometimes I get a little too excited. I am Latin, so I like to talk with my hands. All right, let's test this on the back here. Perfect. Perfect. Just nice consistency. We don't need to do anything super heavy or anything. All right, let's go grab the interiors here. First one up, this gold Supremo thing. This is just an eyesore. Okay, so even if I'm going to paint parts of the grill gold, I'm going to prime the whole damn thing black first, and then I can put my own gold on there. Okay, take one more swig. There's actually really good detail in here. You can't make it out because the shine is distracting your eye and pulling it in all kinds of different directions. All right, let's lose our jewelry. Watch is fine. Okay. I don't want to cut to clean something later. And I'm going to go ahead and spray the rims as well. I'll put my own silver paint, not this chrome that does come off as you handle it. Oh, I'm being stupid. Why don't you just wear gloves, moron? I don't know. Because I'm a moron! I was watching this video of this guy that was redoing a Hot Wheels car. He wasn't redoing it for the purpose of Gaslands. He was just redoing it. He did a really nice job, but he was using gloves in all the parts where I would have used bare fingers, and used bare fingers where I would have used gloves. So like he was doing about what I was getting ready to do. He's spray painting and getting spray paint on your, which is, you know, it's not like this stuff is toxic or anything, but it's a pain in the ass to have it come off. You know, and I told him, I said, man, that's good, but why are you like? And I just wonder why sometimes people use these. I've heard that people they do videos and they specifically wear gloves like this. I guess so people can't recognize them. I mean, what do you have, like a birthmark, or you have a fourth nipple and it's here on your hand, or you know, maybe you got some Nazi tattoos or something like that. You don't want people to see, but I don't know. That didn't work for him because he actually showed his hands in other places, so that wasn't one of his other reasons. But I'm like, hey, you got your glove, you're wearing gloves when you don't need to, and when you need to, you're not wearing them. He just kind of laughed it off. We all do shit we don't intend to when we do videos and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of people that don't speak. They don't use their real name. They don't, you know. I mean, I don't want to show my address on here because, you know, one of you guys might be, you know, take a liking to me, find out I'm married. I'm like, all right, let's mail Tony a bomb, you know. If I can't have him, nobody can. Hopefully none of you are subscribed to me that way. But, you know, there's crazy people out there. I don't need a fan base, just some folks that don't mind me chattering. Maybe you learn some of all the stupid stuff I do. Maybe I'll do something that maybe not so stupid, and will get you guys out of a jam. Now, is this primer really durable? Not really, but I have it. Paul the German from HR. What was that guy's name? Klaus, forklift driver Klaus. It was Klaus, wasn't it? I saw that like 20 years ago or something like that. It was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Isn't humor great where it doesn't even need to be translated in another language? You know? Wunderbar! You know, like I told the people that were watching, you know, I'm gonna have a German team, and it's not gonna have any references to the Third Reich. There's more to Germany than 1933 to 1945. Or really, there's more to Germany than 1914 to 1945. Right, Paul? You know, it'd be like if every time you did something American, it would have to have some Confederacy thing in it, or, you know, something that involved the Civil War, or, you know. I got other hobbies that are specifically have, you know, have Blitzkrieg Germans in them. I'm gonna make sure we don't want any of this stuff like peeking out. Have I tried chicken schnitzel? It's very good. No. No, but there's a German restaurant. Calling it a restaurant is probably a stretch. I'd say a bar with food options in Tampa called Mr. Dunderbox. And at least for us stupid Americans, when you walk in there, you get transported to Germany. Now, if you walked in there, it probably didn't look like Germany to you. But, you know, it takes you to a different place. They have like a little fake plaza, and they got stuff on the walls, and they got, you know, they got these long tables, you know. It reminds me of like somewhere you would have like, you know, a bunch of U-boat crews or whatever would be, you know, having a toast or something. But anyways, it just takes you to somewhere different. And I don't try to eat anything too adventurous there because I honestly don't know what a lot of the dishes are. But so I end up having something like, you know, a Reuben or whatever like that. And obviously German beer, which is the best beer. You didn't have to pay me to say that. It's just true. I don't care what the English think. The English have toys. England is the land of toys and everything. It's a miracle if these things don't come from England, because everything else I have hobby-wise is always from the UK. Germany has beer. England has toys. You know, I buy a lot more toys than beer. Oh man. But yeah, anytime we're in Tampa, we try to go there. My daughter actually, she ended up eating, what did she have? Sauerbraten. I mean, she had like some traditional looking stuff. And I was like, wow, you're like, I didn't say brave, but you know, some of it just doesn't look very appealing until you try it, you know? But she really liked it. So we had a concert that we were going to in Tampa. We're like, let's stop there and have some of that. It's not something we can have here in town, you know? You grew up working at a German restaurant, you would like schnitzel. The only thing I don't like is there's some brats that just taste weird. One of the first brats I had, and it wasn't even in a German restaurant, was one of the ones that's like off-white colored, and it tasted like something I shouldn't be putting in my mouth. You know? It just has some meat products. Some meat products taste like something I don't want to eat. I'll leave it at there. You don't want to know how I make any of the sausages, but some sausages I just don't like the taste of it. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, so we ended up going to a German restaurant one time, and my wife ordered currywurst. and it was awesome. It was like, it was incredible. So you gotta try this. I was like, that's amazing. But like, I didn't know that, like, and I've been to it's been a long time, but Epcot used to have, I know it's not really Germany, whatever. It's all we can deal with here. We don't have, stuff like that. They had like a big buffet and you get to try a bunch of different things. And what was the thing that was really good there? Well, lots of things were really good there, but that's how you try different stuff. Right. That interior's done. Next! But usually when we're traveling and we're like, hey, let's try something different to eat, and we're somewhere else, so we're not at home, we'll either go with Greek or German. Because we don't really have, well, we have a Greek place now, but it's just kind of harder to get at home. Okay, we're going to do all those parts, and then we're going to do, okay, there's the inside of the Z. Okay, what else you got over here? I see some bling over here. That'll have to be painted. What is this? Oh, this is the, oh yeah, the chrome, the toothless chrome guy. Redneck Mobile Extraordinaire. I don't want to forget something and then have to come back and fire everything up just to get one thing. I think that's it there. That's it there. Okay. Right. I'm not worried about the windows at this point. Yeah, I think that's everything. All right. Let's raise things black. You're a big fan of sauerbraten. I don't know another American that likes it. I think that's what my daughter was having. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. She had like maybe she had schnitzel. See, schnitzel, I look at schnitzel and I think, oh, schnitzel, that's that dessert thing, right? No, but that's something else. It has an SCH thing. All right. Man, this is bright as hell. Now you can see what's details. Like, okay, they've got seat belts. There's a little canister of like something back there. All three of us love sauerkraut. All three of us. And honestly, I don't know why anybody would not like sauerkraut. But, I'm not afraid of vegetables. If you're talking about eating animals that taste gamey, I'm out. I'm not interested, But Germany, that's where the beer is from. And they have that, I know it's not real beer or whatever, but it's handy where you're traveling. That Schofferhofer, that's half grapefruit. Yeah, but they give you a fucking huge one. It's like 32 ounces. Well, you can drink that and not be trashed. You can still drive because, there's hardly any alcohol in it. So that stuff's amazing. And I like the regular beer too, but, I get lit on regular beer. Can't exactly hit the road after having it, so. We end up doing as a family, if we're having beer or whatever, we'll just share one. That way it's, you know, doesn't get warm for anybody kind of thing. All right, let that sit. All right, the interior of the Z. It's like a pill case or something like that. It's a pill case color. I don't really have a problem with texturing food, except there's been a couple cases that happens, like sushi. If I'm having some kind of a roll or whatever, and it's too mushy, I'm not interested in it. You know, it's got to have some crunch in it. My wife can't stand having mayo in it. It doesn't bother me, but I can't stand having a sushi roll look like somebody already chewed it for me and like re-rolled it. You know, like I'm not interested in it. But I never crave sushi. I'm not like, hey, let's go out for sushi. I'm like, nah, I'd rather have something else. Like that place in Orlando that has that I sent you the pictures there, Hoffman. That one has ramen. I much prefer ramen to sushi. It's like more different stuff to eat. I generally don't like something that's already wrapped up in a certain way and every bite ends up being the same taste. I like being able to, you know, mix it up a little bit. You know, you take a scoop of some ramen and it's got, maybe this one has more noodle and more meat in it than the other one. The other one might have radish. You know, it varies a little bit. You know, with a sushi, every sushi roll, every bite's the same thing. You know, it's like pizza. Every bite's the same thing. I generally don't prefer that. Choose your own adventure in your mouth. Sushi never fills me up, and I usually spend way more money than I want to. It's very expensive. I also don't like having sushi at a place that doesn't seem legitimately Japanese. Let's put it that way. You know, I don't want to eat sushi at a place where, you know, Filipinos are making it. Sorry, no offense to your girlfriend, but, you know, it's part of the experience. It's almost like, you know, you got to go through the right training thing. The grocery store here, Publix, has sushi. I don't want to eat that sushi. Rice is weird, man. Rice will fill you up, and then a little while later, it goes away. So you get like a false fill up, and it makes you eat when you should be eating, at least for me. I've noticed that recently. Doesn't that make sense? I mean, you don't want to go to a Cuban restaurant and there's a bunch of Mexicans making it. Like, go to a Mexican restaurant for that, you know? And it's part of the experience, you know? I can't wait to see these speakers in action. See how the speakers on that bus go. The bus, you know, the bus is lame in that it's not super heavy on the weapons. But if you get within medium range of it, you're going to, 8D6 are going to be coming down your ass, you know? People are going to be shooting, they're going to slide that window open, they're going to be shooting Glocks sideways at your ass. There's 8 guys in there shooting Glocks. You know, 8D6 is nothing to scoff at, especially when they have 360 degrees. So, But that is the whole point that I wanted to bring to this game. I wanted to make it because I know how people are. I know how people are. They get on this crutch and they're like, oh, this is what I want to play. It's all designed. Everybody wants a minigun. Everybody wants a machine gun on a turret. And it's like every vehicle ends up being the same as every other one, other than physically. So the whole point is you got to play everything to its strengths and away from its weaknesses. So, and that's the whole reason is, it gets me into wanting to design cars that are different, is to make them different. If I want to make them all the same, then why don't I just, I already got 17 vehicles. I don't need any more, right? Like you could just put whatever, it doesn't really matter what weapons you have on them. You could just use whatever you want. Or like, well, what's the incentive in creating other vehicles? Just saying. The new 3D bot maker video I haven't watched yet. I was reading some background information on him that I hadn't heard before. It's official that he does all the voices. Well, that was really disappointing because I really wanted to meet 2D because he has all the good lines. 2D has some funny ass dialogue. That is way too much work for one person to do all himself. It must come naturally to him. And I think that's, the guy actually has like I don't know if he makes commercials, but he does something related on video like that. It'd be like me repainting, hand numbering things. Like, that's easy for me. It's probably easy for him to edit a video and do all that stuff. That would just take way too much time for me. Biggest complaint about people's Gasland vehicles is they go hard on the rusty stuff. Every vehicle looks the same. Every vehicle looks the same. And I appreciate things looking like a junkyard, but you're driving these cars hard. They need to be, and I mean, some people may not like my vehicles because they don't look like Gaslands enough. But I want them to still keep the flavor of the original vehicle, Yeah, 2D has my favorite lines. The creator really has some talent. Yeah, he puts a fuck ton of effort into it. He's the only thing that's shitty about his channel. There's only one thing I dislike, and there's no way to avoid it. Is it's all edited, right? Like the comments he's coming up with don't happen as they happen. There's no way they'd be able to. But it's excruciatingly entertaining. I told you I would have reached, if you lived in Florida instead of California. California might as well be on another planet from us. I'd reached out to him and said, hey, we can paint some figures for you or whatever, You could use some better painted figures. I'm just saying, But he has some real, that takes a lot of freaking effort. And it's my favorite thing on YouTube. It's the best thing out there. And the demolition stuff is hilarious. I haven't watched all of this stuff. I haven't watched like the stock car stuff and I don't think I would have had it in my personality to do two voices and argue with myself. I don't think I would have done that. I got Mitch. I don't need another person. Mitch could be the other person. He's different enough from me. He can laugh at all my shit. Hey Mitch, why don't you come over and laugh at my shit? Yeah, this is the one that had that ridiculous blue. We don't have that ridiculous blue anymore. Now you'll have, and this may end up being something other than black coming through, but at least there'll be a color that doesn't that isn't arguing with the paint scheme as much. Something more can coexist with a little bit better. That reverse Confederate flag looks great. I just got on Facebook and saw it. Yeah, I think, I'm not worried about any of my viewers. You guys all know where I come from. But I don't want to do, we're going to film videos on YouTube, and there's things that YouTube does that automatically demonetizes and disappears, and I don't want to have to consult a real person and tell them, listen, I've got Confederate flags on here, but we're not promoting. We even call these fuckers hillbilly and inbred. We're not promoting the Confederacy winning or anything like that. And then going through a month of trials and I know when it's automated. I don't want to deal with any of that shit. That doesn't bring me happiness. That's the kind of stuff that makes me want to go, you know what? This hobby isn't worth it. And I don't want to bring any of that stuff to it. So it's let's just get out ahead and do that. Just like when I show things of, I may have a Messerschmitt that has a crooked spider on it. I don't show it online because you guys know what it is. I'm not scared of displaying those things. If I showed them to you guys, every time you bring up a symbol of hate, it's an opportunity to talk about how bad that regime was. So it's not like we're promoting any of that stuff, but there's a lot of automated things that happen that we're not even aware of, that to undo that creates so much effort that it isn't worth it to stir up, in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, the poppycock. Yeah. You can't really tell what it is until you said something. Yeah. Yeah, so, those guys need to have Confederate flags on them, or Confederate type flags. That's what they would do. That's the kind of people that would have that kind of stuff. And some of them would do it because they're racist, and some of them would do it because of their heritage. I'm kind of, I see both sides. I see why people would be offended by that. And I also see why people would think that it's their heritage. But you also have to understand that people will get upset about it. Just like the people one of the things that I personally hate is seeing anything with a raised fist. I can't stand it because I automatically associate communism with it. And my background is, my family fled from a country, thank goodness, 'cause that allowed me to be born in this country, but fled from a country that communism took over. So we can't stand anything that's even remotely communism, So, people have a right to put things with fists, and I call them fisters, because anything that's fist related, use another symbolism, Hell Wench looks good too. Your Gaslands car looks like a good video game lineup. Well, we're trying to mix it up. We're trying to mix it up. So, yeah, I don't like anything. I don't like anything with a raised fist. I don't care if Trump does it. I don't care if Antifa does it. I can't stand anything with it. So, I call them the fisters. You say that it's like it's not a good thing. Now, anybody who's listening to my content knows where I'm coming from. I don't promote dictators of any flavor. And all of these groups that we're going to represent in the game, they're all to be made fun of. Within reason. We don't need to be dropping no N-bombs. and get rid of this green. I mean, it is a pretty color, but running a whole lot of interference with the color scheme of this thing. I had to just paint the rest of this and make the spirit of Marcus happy. Well, that was just kind of an accident. I had to get that HW to work with something. Like, what the hell? Hot Wheels. Well, I don't want to remove it. And I don't want a team of demons. I don't want that kind of unbelievableness. But, you know. All right. That's good. That's on the green vehicle, which... Well, I don't know which one it is now because I did such a good job of covering it. Perfect. I'm on the right track. All right. This big old bling mobile. I'm going to go spray all this because there's one vehicle, I don't remember which one it is, that I had chrome on it, on the rims. I was perfectly happy the way it turned out. How it looked, but just in handling it, the sweat from your fingers made the chrome lift off, and I had to repaint it anyways. So it's nothing to repaint. Rims is what we all call it. That's kind of like the Calvary word, right? Lots of people say Calvary. You know, the three-cross Jesus hill, when they refer to horse troops. I don't. I make different mistakes. I have a problem pronouncing the name, well, the word white, and the name Jeremy. But I don't make cavalry mistakes. However, everybody also don't call things clips when they're magazines. However, just like everybody else, there's rims and then there's wheels. And almost everybody calls things rims even when they're really wheels. Like, I don't have rims, I have wheels. That's a super common mistake. These are probably wheels. But even I make that mistake. I'll say, oh yeah, those rims. Well, rims if they come off. Well, the hot glue gun has been the real big surprise of the last year. I wish I'd gotten one so many years ago. It's super handy to have. Look at this thing. Like, this is gonna. Do you say? I think I say both. I don't like hearing caramel. Cement. I think I say both. I don't remember. I'll probably say it both. I'll probably say it one time one way, another time a different way. And I have a hard time saying schedule in the normal way. I've gotten so used to it. It drives my wife crazy. But it just seems more, elegantly proper. She'd say, that just sounds ridiculous. I said, well, when you have as many UK subscribers as I do, it's not. The one I haven't heard in a long time, and I've mentioned this before, is this county. It's a very common county name in a lot of, I'd say probably in a lot of states. It's supposed to be named after, a French general of the Revolutionary War. And the locals, the inbred redneck locals of this county, 2 counties over here, claim that it's called Lafayette. That is just There is several people dying, rolling around in their graves with the sound of that. You know, I try to pronounce names correctly, even if they're in a foreign language. I don't know what the hell this goes to. We're going to paint its happy ass. Oh, what's the front of this? Is this the jerry rig thing? Maybe. I don't know where my white thing comes from. I don't think that I've always done that. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I got it from Clayton Bigsby. See if anybody gets that reference. That is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Clayton Bigsby. Now they actually make Mr. Johansson, who just passed away a couple of months ago, that I have some of his driver's figures, actually had some drivers that looked like they were wearing hoods, and they were what did he call them? I forget exactly what he called them. I don't think he made them as Klansmen, but he made them like they could be used for, you know, some like evil organization or something like that. I'm like, I'm not doing Klansman figures. I mean, that's too much. That's like inappropriate, you know. Like, I don't need to do that. I mean, it could be some funny stuff, but I'm not going there, you know. Like, rednecks that are inbred is good enough. You don't need to go any farther than that. Cultist is what he called them. You know, I don't want cultists that sacrifice children and shit like that. I don't know. I don't want that. That's just, you know, that's bad shit. Okay, so we got these tires. Here's the other tires that go with them. Okay, we're gonna leave this guy alone. We're gonna build upon this. I think that's the one we're gonna make true fitting. We need 350 caliber machine guns. One's in the turret, and then one in the front, one in the back. So it's got to be something that's a truck. You know, I mean, this is a truck. The vehicle that this will be, that is a truck body. I mean, its Escalade is basically a truck. It doesn't have to be a pickup truck to be a truck. Okay, I think that's everything we have. Which basically means that's, now how much black did I waste? A lot, you know, it happens. I think I'd rather waste it. Oh! This is as I look for the silly colors, this is a silly color. This particular vehicle. Why does it say I'm live? I've been live. Did it just like burp? Oh boy. Internet acting up again. And people say, hey, your internet's acting up. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just a moron that knows how to paint. I just paint and I say things. I'm not your tech guy. Call in 3D Bot Maker. He knows how to fix all that stuff. I don't. I actually thought he does those things where people submit cars. I'm like, I could submit some cool shit, but I don't want my things getting dinged up. And I don't want to send him something, and then it might be a year before it shows up in a video. That waiting would drive me crazy. I'd rather not have sent him something. This doesn't really fit my personality type. Nice. Now we get this in the traditional color. You know, and I like the idea that you're going to get a car randomly. Not like, I always play the rednecks. I always play. You don't know who you're going to play. You know? That's how you learn how to play different. That's how you learn how to play different vehicles. you pull a different vehicle. That's what you got to play. Anything else here we can... Let's do the ambulance. We're not ready to fuck with that yet. That's the interior of the pickup truck. I guess eventually we're going to have to do that. Oh, that's the interior to the extra Land Rover. Okay, this is the interior to the pickup truck. I guess we could spray that. That wouldn't hurt anything. And that'll help us consume some of that stuff. Okay. Is anyone else making their own cars in my group? Nope. No. Frankly, I don't really want them to. Because they're not going to do all the cards. Having a pre-made card in roll form makes all the difference in the world. No, I really don't want them to. That probably would take the wind out of my sails. Like Mitch ended up sending me a picture. He was at the con a day early and showed me a picture of the cars. I'm like, man, don't buy any. It'll take the wind out of my sails. I have to find a new group of people to play with. Like, this is all I'm doing right now, man. Let me have this. He does a lot of games where he supplies everything. This is my turn, so. I want all the terrain, all the cars, and everything looking on point. We're doing really good progress. We can get a new car done every 3 days, which is, I'm definitely achieving, maybe even doing better than that. Even with hacking up a lung. It's really not lung related, it's sinus, but we can do anything. No, that's what we played a couple times. That's what we do. We'd sit down 45 minutes before. Everybody would ask how things work, how the points work, and then ended up everybody would make the same damn car. This looks like it's removable. But this piece actually doesn't fit through there. So I would actually have to take a drill and drill this out and pray to God I drill in the right place. What do I have on there? I don't have the drill bit. What about this piece? Can we pop this off so we can paint it? Comrade Popov! Let's see if that made this pop off. What I need is a little screwdriver. I think we just got this to come off. All right, we can paint that. I'm fine with the body color, honestly. And I'm not sure where the attachment points are on that. We can hand paint that part. I may decide later I actually don't like this color. I want to do something different. But if I change it now, I lose the opportunity to do that at a later point. Like a primer purple or something. Purple burgundy. Burgundy. Yeah, probably the thing that probably would damage me the most is pulling me in a different direction. Like I need to just kind of go in my own order. We should be able to make pretty good progress with this. I already got plenty of cars to play with. Next thing is just going to be doing some terrain, which, you know, I didn't buy those. There was some terrain I could have bought and to fix up. And I'm glad I didn't, because I might have already screwed with them and lost my momentum, but I got to keep the momentum going. Okay, that's I think everything that we're going to do. We're going to clear this thing out, which what I like to do is let's close this up. For some reason, these primer bottles they like to pop it back open due to pressure. We're going to fill this up, not to the top. We're going to take this awesome brush that it came with, and I'm not being facetious, it really is pretty freaking awesome. It's the stiffest bristles known to man, that they're nylon, but they go right back in shape. I'm also not being very, very difficult with it. And we're going to attempt not to clear this thing out, which is what I've been doing. It saved me a lot of time. I'm not doing any precise airbrushing where I need to do, you know, something really super detailed. So not having to spend 15, 20, 30 minutes clearing it. Great, I took the paper towel from here. Every time I use this, not having to spend 15 to 30 minutes on it is a savings. I'm not going to mess with any of this stuff tonight. I'm going to let this the primer set well. Actually, I haven't even had dinner yet, and also the clear coat. And in the morning, we'll pull these and we'll give them the brown wash. Oh, so brainstorming. I know we talked about the cops. The cops are not going to be run by anybody. And I don't have anything against cops. I don't. Unless they get freaking nosy and shit. Like, we live in a little town right now, and the cops like to pull up next to you when you're at lunch break and ask you what you're fucking doing. That's the shit I hate about cops. Like, don't you have anything to fucking do? Go eat a donut or something. Like, let me pull my record and your record, cop, and see who should be questioning who. But I don't have any problem with cops. It always seems to be that we have a neighbor that's a cop. We did at the old house. We do now. You know, if I was doing something illegal, I'd probably be worried, but I'm not. But I think I'm going to make the cops basically NPCs. And they're going to show up in certain games at certain times. It's actually really hard to find cop cars, believe it or not. I know when I was a kid, that's what I would have wanted, cop cars, you know. But I don't think I'm going to give their vehicles any guns. I'm probably not going to give them any guns. Now, they might have pistols they can shoot, but I'm not going to give them like a 125 millimeter can. I mean, it looks like a SWAT vehicle or something like that. But just like a regular cop car, I'm not going to put miniguns on cop cars, you know. They might be armored. They might have like a built-in armor or something like that. But I'm thinking they're all probably going to have, and I'm saying this because I don't have anything against cops. But remember, this is to make fun of everyone for everything. I'm probably going to name all the cops after famous pigs. So we might have a Peppa car, or the Baconator. They're all going to have Rams because that's what the cops do to get you off the damn road, right? They're Ram people. So that's what I said. I think the game is really good. There's good things there. I just don't really like their whole team thing. I don't like the idea that you have one team that's like the whiskey runners, and they're like they're rednecks, and they have all these skills, and nobody else can have. I mean, any teams can have those other skills. I like that. Maybe you have one guy that's this, or one guy drives crazy, but he's on the brother team. That's a little bit more my style. I think all the things are there. I just, it's almost kind of like they give you the Lego set. Here's the Lego set, and it builds the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And I want to take those pieces and I want to create something different that's maybe cooler than the Capitol. Does that make sense? When you think cop car, I think Crown Vic. Absolutely. Well, now it's Charger, Yeah, Chargers. Chargers. Yeah, it was Crown Vic forever, wasn't it? And before that, it's like stuff like Dodge Monacos. And what was that car that they had in Hill Street Blues? Not that I watched Hill Street Blues. The only cop show that I've actually enjoyed watching, and I don't know why I stopped watching it, was The Shield. I thought The Shield was an excellent show. And it was an excellent show because the guy was corrupt. So you never knew what direction it was going to take. So, but I don't have issues with the cops. I just don't like them. These Barney Fife cops, like, what you doing over here? What are you doing over here asking me something? I'm taking my fucking lunch break and I work right there. Like, I'm not even littering on the ground. Like, go bother something else, Like, geez, man. I worked here 20-something years. My credentials. Get the fuck out of here. Obviously, you can't tell them that, but nosy ass cop. All right, folks. That's where we're at. And we will pick this up. Oh, let's get some release on here. There we go. I don't know if that's bad for it, but there's no reason for that tank to be pressurized for 24 hours or longer. And we'll see you guys in the morning. All right, folks. Bye-bye.